Be honest, do you actually know how to use color, or are you just guessing? Color is one of the most powerful tools in the artist's toolkit. It can make your art pop, set the mood, and even manipulate emotions. But if you've ever stared at your own work thinking, why does this look like a unicorn threw up? Don't worry. Today I'm giving you 7 essential tips to help explain color theory, master hue, saturation, and contrast, and start making your colors work for you instead of against you. I'll also be doing a demo on what not to do with color schemes. Let's get into it. You asked for it, we hyped it up, and now it's finally here. A tutorial on color. Color is weird. Actually, no, scratch that. Color is a mind. There's so many confusing aspects of color theory that honestly, it starts to feel a little bit like dark magic. I mean, we all remember this, right? So safe to say, this isn't a deep dive into all of color theory, but it is packed with valuable information that you can start using in your art right now. We're just getting started. For today's demo art, I sketched out this self-portrait. Nah, I'm just kidding. I did this funky alien monster dude. Here's my rough pass, and here's my clean version. I wanted to do something fun and retro that also let me test out a bunch of different color palettes. He's an alien after all. He can be blue, green, or whatever weird combo I throw at him. I'll be working on this ugly little guy throughout the video, and at the end, I'll share a time lapse of the full illustration process. Let's jump into the tips. Tip 1. Understand the terminology. Want to master color? Then stop winging it and learn the terminology. You need to speak the language. So let's break it down real quick. Hue. Just a fancy word for color. You know, you got your reds, blues. Come on guys, this is kindergarten stuff. Saturation. How intense or muted a color is. Crank it up and you got loud, vibrant hues. Dial it down and colors start looking softer and more subdued. Value. How light or dark a color is. And plot twist, value matters way more than hue. You should also familiarize yourself with the color wheel. The color wheel is your best friend when it comes to picking colors that actually work together. At its core, it's a visual map of how colors relate to each other. Primary colors, red, blue, yellow, the OGs. You can't mix these from other colors. Secondary colors, orange, green, purple, made by mixing 2 of the primaries. And tertiary colors, the in-betweens, like red-orange or blue-green. Now that you know some of the basic color theory terms I'll be referring to today, we can jump to tip number 2, use reference. Look guys, I get it, you want to be original, you want to be a visionary, but let's be real. Trying to color from memory is like assembling IKEA furniture without the manual. Just not gonna happen. So instead of guessing, study artists who actually nail color. For instance, Jack Kirby, king of bold, high contrast palettes. Coupe, saturation and contrast on steroids. Jim Flora, chaos, but in the best way. Great artists don't just pull color schemes out of their butt cheeks, okay? They study, experiment, and adapt. You should too. Tip 3. Understand color temperature. Colors have temperature, and you need to know how to use them if you don't want your art to feel like a bad acid trip. Unless that's your vibe, man, which in that case, rock on, dude. Warm colors are reds, oranges, yellows. They represent energy, excitement, possibly even danger. Cool colors are blues, greens, purples. They're calm, mysterious, maybe even a little eerie. If your art looks weird and you don't know why, check your temperature. Are things unintentionally too warm? Too cool? A little balance can make all the difference. Tip 4. Master contrast with value. Here's the brutal truth, guys. Hue is overrated. Value is what makes your colors work. Here's a good test. Turn your image into black and white. You can do this by adding a blank black layer above your art and setting the blending mode to saturation. If everything starts to blend together, congratulations, your values are garbage. But if the contrast holds up, your colors will work no matter what hue you use. You can color a whole piece in shades of dirty swamp green, and as long as your values are strong, it'll still look good. Tip 5. Use the 60-30-10 rule. Bad color harmony is killing your art. Luckily, there's a fix for that. The 60-30-10 rule. 60% should be your dominant color. It sets the overall mood. 30% should be a secondary color. It keeps things interesting. And 10% should be your accent color. It's tiny but mighty. This rule keeps your colors in check so your piece doesn't look like it just came from a late 90s website. Tip 6. Use saturation wisely. If your art looks like a Skittles commercial on steroids, you've officially lost control. If everything is saturated, nothing stands out. This is pain. Instead, use high saturation to highlight focal points and keep background elements more muted. That way, the viewer's eye knows where to look instead of feeling like they just got stoned and went into a candy store. Tip 7. Get to know color schemes. Stop throwing random colors together and hoping for the best. Use these foolproof schemes instead. Complementary. Opposites on the color wheel. High contrast and high drama. Analogous. Colors that are next to each other. This is smooth and easy on the eyes. Monochromatic. One color, different values. Minimalist, stylish, kinda moody. And triadic. 3 evenly spaced colors. This is balanced and bold. These aren't the only color schemes out there. There's a ton of ways to combine different hues and values. And once you understand these, color stops feeling like a lucky guess and starts to feel intentional. Mistakes to avoid. Now that I've told you 7 essential color tips, let's see what happens when you totally ignore my advice, go rogue, and make a bunch of mistakes. It's not gonna be pretty, guys. I'm going to show 3 different versions of this artwork with bad color choices. First up, saturation. Too much of it and your colors scream at you. Too little and everything looks flat and lifeless. You want a balance. Contrast where it counts, but not a neon nightmare. Unless that's the goal. Next up, values. If everything is the same midtone, nothing stands out. Strong values create depth and make key elements pop. Right now, this alien space monster just kind of blends into the background. Not exactly what you want for an epic comic panel. And finally, mood. Colors set the vibe. If you're drawing a terrifying space creature, but the colors look like it came from a cheerful children's book, the impact is lost. Think about how your colors support the story, because trust me, they should. Now let's look at the art with some similar color palettes, but using correct color choices. You see the difference? Nailing your colors isn't just about what looks cool, it's about clarity, contrast, and mood. Get those right, and your art will definitely hit harder. Alright guys, now that I've helped clean your souls of those bad color choices, it's time for me to actually pick a color scheme and finish this art. Let's go. Alright, look at that. Pretty cool, right? See guys, color doesn't have to be intimidating. If you focus on value, contrast, and balance, your color choices will improve drastically. If this video helped you understand color just a little more, drop a like and maybe a subscribe. It means the world to us guys, and tell us in the comments, what do you want to see in the next video? Let us know. I'll see you in the next one, and happy creating.